Yo, what's going on, Ramley? Welcome to the Ram Skinny here live, as we said, from Skinny T's beautiful LA patio, a little dojo. Beautiful day, 70s.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
perfect time.
Fantastic. So excited to be here talking Rams football, preview, Titans. We're heading to Nashville. I mean, not us. I wish we were. But the Rams are heading to Nashville to take on the 0-1 Titans, who had a tough battle with the Denver Broncos. Kind of a similar matchup, if you will, like as the Rams in week one in terms of kind of an offensive stallings, if you will, and kind of a defensive juggernauts. So they'll have kind of a similar matchup in that regard. But first and foremost, my friend, how are you doing?
I kind of feel like Ricky Bobby right now. My normal setup isn't here. So I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah. It's always different.
Yeah.
Being alive in person.
But, we get to be coworkers, but rarely in person. So it's always nice to have an actual coworker. We get to complain about our other writers and other coworkers and stuff in person. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely. And yeah, we're outside. It's a beautiful day. We're getting people in here joining. So we want to take, I kind of teased it on our last show. We're going to build this up like a pseudo call-in show, if you will. So we'll drop the link for the show in the comments. And then anyone that wants to kind of come in, join, it'll just be your audio, so no camera. You can leave your camera off. It'll just be your audio, and drop your comments, thoughts, questions, whatever. We want to start turning this Thursday live into like the fan show, fan centric,
for you,
run by the Ramley. So
it doesn't have to be questions. It can comments if you want to complain about something.
Yeah,
we got our first caller already in here. So
yeah, compliment Skinny's hair if you want.
It's looking real good today.
Yeah, so let's get this first one in here, and then I'll drop the link again for anyone listening. But here we go, JC from St. Louis.
What up, JC?
Hey, what's up, Ramley? What's up?
What's happening? How you doing?
I'm okay. So let me start here by first saying I'm a longtime first time, and I need to say that I appreciate the fact that you guys have opened the show up to us listeners, so that we can give a little more of our voice, a little more of our perspective, a little more of our understanding about where you guys are taking things. Okay. So I'm starting with appreciation and now.
Love it. Appreciate you.
And so now I need to be really clear about why I'm calling it.
Let's hear it. Appreciate the kind words to start though, but let's hear it.
Makes me a little nervous.
Skinny T. I have a problem with you, bro.
Me?
Yeah. Yesterday. All right, let's just go back one day. Let's go back 24 hours. Yesterday, it's the Winners and Losers show.
Yeah.
Comes to you, right? Comes to you. You're talking through everything, and you're like, Jared Verse is a loser. That's what you said, bro. Jared Verse is a loser. Now I'm listening and I'm just sitting there going, I can't believe he just said that. I don't know where that came from. And here's what my second thought was. I was like, Skinny T, that dude is more like emaciated T, man. You're like anemic T. Okay? Anemic T. Something is wrong with your program, man. How can you say that Jared Verse is a loser, especially in game one against the Texans? Like, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know why your expectations are so ridiculous. I don't know why you came in with that take. So this is my question for you, Anemic T. Okay. My question for you,
I love this,
is it's been 24 hours. There's been a night and another day. And maybe you've gotten some rest. Maybe you've gotten some sleep. Maybe you've thought a little more about these takes you had yesterday. So my question for you is, do you still stand by that? Do you still say that Jared Verse is a loser? Are you still putting your name on that take, Anemic T?
Wow. I mean, first call coming in hot.
Real hot. I gotta say too, I'm loving it. There's a little like twang, very Feinbaum-esque, if you will. It sounds fantastic. So, but defend yourself. I mean, I was a little surprised too yesterday. So now you get to defend yourself. Great call.
So JC, you're from St. Louis. Is that right?
That's right. I live in St. Louis.
Long time.
Yeah.
Do you remember Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
All right. The only reason I came after him is just because it's like, when you love somebody so much, he's like my child, really. I got to be hard on him so that, he gets all the accolades and he gets into the right school and we get the best out of this guy. We got to hold him to a high standard, and he wants more sacks. I want more sacks. The Rams need more sacks. I love pressures. You got 4 pressures, but I mean, let's get those Deacon Jones patented sacks. Let's go old school, original Rams. Go ahead.
I got it. I mean, I think it's safe to say that all of us would love to have more sacks in our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least on Sundays.
So, yeah, that's right. Exactly. So here's the one thing I've been thinking a lot about, Anemic T. I think that you have expectation derangement syndrome. Okay. I think that it's lying within your mind. And after you said that yesterday, after you had that take yesterday, I went back because I thought I remembered seeing a Verse interview at the end of last season. He had all the accolades, being that rookie defensive player of the year. And yet, in an interview at the end of the season last year, he kept talking about how he thought he left something like 10 sacks on the field. You know what? I hear him say things like that, and I'm like, Verse, you can say that because it is up to you, Verse, to do better. He's got the right to say that, man. You don't. You don't have the right to all of a sudden create this.
Are you coming at me because I haven't played football? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, are we going Ryan Clark here? Are we getting a little RC action?
I don't think so. It's not about whether or not you play, man. It's all about setting expectations realistically because he's part of a full team. And here, look, I agree with you. I would love to see him get 15 sacks this year. I want to see him. I want to see him take all of that to the house by the end of the year. But what I don't want is for him to have this wonderful individual award, and then we're bounced first game of the playoffs. Like, what does that even matter? You know what I mean? So, like, by setting this unrealistic expectation on him, and more importantly, calling him a loser. You called him a loser. Are you kidding? Like I would hate to know
moniker would come back. We need to use the winners and not so much winners.
How old are you? A millennial? Are you a Gen Z? Not everybody gets a trophy in this world. There are winners and losers in this world, and I'm just calling a spade, heart a heart. That's all I'm trying to do over here. And I'm not going to play any homer cards. I made a promise. That's why I picked the Texans to win this game. I was wrong, and maybe I'll be wrong, and I'll be happily wrong. But there's nothing wrong with having high expectations for this team. And you were saying it yourself. I don't want this team to go out in the first round of the playoffs. This season is a lost season if they don't make the NFC Championship game. That's my thought. This is a Super Bowl team that can make it there, and Verse has to be a big part of that. And they got to win. They got to win 10, 11 games this year. So Verse has to be a big part of it.
So JC, let me ask you this, and we'll get you out of here. Yeah. Great first call. Appreciate you. This is fun right off the bat. So thank you, but we'll get you out on this. So what expectation do you have of Verse going into this week against the Titans? Broncos get 6 sacks last week. Jared Verse is arguably the best pass rusher the Rams have. And so I agree with you. Not
arguably. He's the best pass rusher that they have.
Yeah. Well, not statistically, because he didn't have it, which is what your point was. So JC, what do you want to see from Jared Verse this week? Do you want to see 2 sacks? Do you think one's viable? What are you looking to see?
This to me is the problem by trying to predict or put numbers on these things. Of course, look, we're all Rams fans here. We totally I would love to see 2-3 sacks and more, whatever, break up passes. I'm just trying to say that for us to move forward through this whole season, we just can't set this up so that every game is effectively a loss if these players that we are such big fans of, if these players aren't achieving these metrics that we're trying to create around them, then I don't have fun in the game anymore. You know, I don't have fun watching the game. And that's just where I'm coming from. And look, guys, I appreciate you letting us call in. I know I came in hot. I know that I came in with a lot of passion. It's coming from a good place. It's coming from a place because we want to see the Rams win this year, and I want Verse to be the best he can be. I just don't like seeing somebody like Skinny say that he's a loser because he's not all world in the very first game of the season. And I hope that message gets through. And again, thanks for taking the call, guys.
Well, I have to say that in these divisive times, it's nice we actually have common ground on this one. We're rooting for the same thing, so we can always agree on that for sure.
JC, you're the man. Hopefully, we'll hear from you again this season. Appreciate you. Be well, okay?
You too.
Nope.
All righty. What a way to kick it off.
I was just thinking.
How are you feeling?
I'm a little cottonmouth right now, a little bit shaky. I didn't expect that coming in. But JC Latham, he's an offensive line. So we got JC calling in, talking. He wasn't talking JC, but JC Latham. He's an Alabama guy.
Alabama guy. Isn't he's not on the
Titans, I believe.
I think yeah. But is he on the what I'm looking for, the Players Association board? I don't know why. I feel like I'm thinking of JC Treader was like the president. Another JC. Another JC. No, great first call. Love it. That's what this show hopefully is going to be. A lot of people calling in, having fun. Let's get one comment right when we went live here. And I like that. Well, okay. We'll get right back to you, USA expat. Appreciate it. I do want to answer that. But any other comments on, I guess, Verse or that before we just kind of move on from that, or your thoughts on him?
No, I don't want to get any more hot water with JC and STL.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll see. I think Verse, we talked about last episode. He's, the expectation is high because of how good he is. Eventually, though, you got to get those pressures to become sacks. It's just the way the NFL works. 100%. So, okay, USA expat. When will the Rams ever establish an unstoppable running game? Average is not cutting it. I love this question. And he also says, hello from Costa Rica. Look at that. International.
That's where we should be.
Oh, man.
Nashville, LA, or Costa Rica.
With this backdrop, it feels kind of Costa Rican. Yeah. Do you want to start with this? Because you know how I get passionate about the running game.
Well, I'll just start off by saying thank you for saying average isn't good enough. We're talking about expectations. It's perfect transition. So yeah, you jump into it. I think, I guess I'll jump into it. You just look back a couple of years ago when the offensive line was really humming. You got to say that Kyren Williams looked unstoppable in 2023. So I just don't think that the offensive line has had the same push and consistency. I don't think Kyren Williams has changed. So, this season starts and ends with the offensive line, which is not great news as of today for the Rams. But I think the complementary run pass thing is so important to the McVay offense. And the funny thing is about that is they won the Super Bowl without any running game.
Yeah.
But I think 2021 kind of marked a point where defenses started to change, and now offenses are starting to change to kind of adjust for that. And the running game is back. You got 2 first-round running backs taken. Running backs matter again.
Yeah, we saw obviously the Eagles with Saquon Barkley and how important that was in their Super Bowl run. I think for me with this running game, and Houston has a good front seven. I mean, let's not batter eyes at that. I think Tennessee is a pretty good front seven, which we'll get to. The Broncos did, however, put up 151 rushing yards, so the Rams should be able to at least do better than they did last week. To me, I still think, as much as we love Kyren Williams, as much as we love that he was extended, there has to be a rotation, whether it's just to keep him fresh, whether it's to have a little bit of change. I know we've talked about a lot. McVay mentioned it when they drafted Corum. What they loved about him is there wasn't going to be this change when he was on the field. Like, he was so similar to Kyren Williams that they felt they were just, 1A, 1B. It wasn't like a thunder and lightning kind of thing. I never pretend to be smarter than Sean McVay because I'm not. But I do believe there needs to be some sort of change of pace a little bit in your running style and whatever, just to keep the defense honest. But at the very minimum, you at least need to just have some sort of a rotation. And Blake Corum getting 1 carry last week, Jarquez Hunter getting healthy scratched. They have
Cody Schrader. Schrader was on the team. Now he's a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Now he's a Jaguar because you call him up from the practice squad, don't protect him. He gets picked off the practice squad after the game. So you only featured Kyren Williams, and we love Kyren Williams. We think he's great. But I think to this question, like, you've got to actually lean into this rotation. If you're going to continually say you love your running back room, you have 3 viable options, you believe in all 3 guys, but then week after week, they don't play other than Kyren Williams, that seems to be an issue. So,
yeah. And you can, a big thing of the McVay offense was to keep basically all the same 11 players on the field through much of the game. If you go back years and years and look at that, 11 personnel was, it was Cup, Puka Nacua, Tyler Higbee, Tutu, or Demarcus Robinson. That leaves you with one running back. That was Kyren Williams. Now we're seeing this evolution with McVay where he's rotating a lot. So that kind of illusion of complexity where it looks the same, when they line up and then the motions happen and you run a bunch of different plays out of the same look is what I'm trying to get at. That's off the table now. So the rotation should just be, second nature at this point, I feel like. But, we've talked about Blake Corum's kind of inability in pass protection. We have yet to see what Jarquez Hunter really has, but he looked pretty good in preseason. So I don't know. We'll see in this game if anything changes.
Yeah, he looked great in preseason, looked great in camp, was one of the guys they talked the most about. So I was still, and we're moving past it, but I was just really surprised that he was one of the healthy scratches. But I think for this team to be truly successful, which I believe they will be, you do want to see a dedication to the rotation. I think they were dedicated to the run to an extent. I mean, Kyren had 16, 17 carries. We talk all the time. Like, I think 25 plus is what we really want to see from this team. That sun is starting to really bear down on me.
Yeah,
but,
it sure is.
But I think they can certainly grow, and it's 1 week, right? Like, we don't want to come down too crazy. Like, it's 1 week. We'll see how the adaptation happens throughout the season and how much they more lean into these other running backs. But you look at like the Broncos, who, I'm saying them because they played the Titans, who the Rams now playing, J.K. Dobbins, they brought in as like the veteran. They drafted R.J. Harvey in the mid rounds somewhere. So he's a rookie, and they gave him the ball 6 or 7 times. And he rushed for, what do you have? Like 60 or 70 yards, like had a pretty high effective clip for how many carries he had.
Yeah. The Broncos had a really good day, 151 yards total on the ground.
So they kind of set the blueprint that you can run on the Titans to an extent, even with the great front that they have with Jeffrey Simmons and others. So as we kind of get into this preview more and whatnot, that is going to be one of the things I want to see from this Rams offense is dedication to not just running the ball, but to a rotation of the running backs.
For sure.
Link is dropped in the chat. Anyone that would love to come chat with us, we would love that. So just click that link. You'll be in our kind of background studio. You can keep your camera off or whatever. It's going to be only audio, so you won't be seen on screen. So no worries there. It'll just be your audio. So yeah, link is there. If anyone wants to join, I'll drop it again in a little bit. Obviously, we'll take some time building this up and getting people to get brave and come on with us. But don't be shy. Don't be shy. So you look at this Titans team. We'll kind of go more into this preview now. an offense that had 133 total yards last week. Now, they put up 12 points, 4 field goals. But some of those field goals came off of Broncos turnovers. Bo Nix had 2 interceptions, I believe. I don't know if they had a fumble somewhere in there as well. But either way, yeah, they got points with short field. So let's start with the Rams defense. I mean, they dominated the Texans offense, held them to 6 points.
9 points.
9 points, thank you. I think it's safe to say the Texans offense is better than what the Titans are going to be. What do you expect from this Rams defense on the road? Rookie quarterback. What do you expect from them?
From the Titans offense? Not a lot.
Right?
So, Houston's offensive line was bad. As of the most recent PFF ranking, they were the 32nd. Now
that's last.
That's last for those counting at home, keeping track. How much better is the Titans? Well, they're ranked 27th, and they went up against the Broncos, which has a fantastic front, and it showed.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough sledding. They have no weapons. This team now. We were looking at it. They got Tony Pollard, who's been washed up for several years. Our new favorite player, Julius Chestnut, also back there.
Jay Nutt.
Not really able to get much done on the ground between the two of those guys. But even the receivers, they just have nothing around Cam Ward. Now, from what I've seen and what I've heard, Cam Ward looks like a capable NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're under that much pressure, and you've got guys like, Chigo Okoronkwo catching passes from you, their leading receiver was Tony Pollard with just 29 yards. Now they have Calvin Ridley,
mm-hmm.
But I'm sure they had Surtain just blanketed all over him. So, Tyler Lockett, one target, 0 yards. There's just not a lot of help either from the front, the back, or the sides. Like Cam Ward is kind of a one-man show on that side of the ball.
Man, when you look at this Titans team, and you have the number 1 overall pick, you obviously draft Cam Ward with that number 1 overall pick. I mean, they did not do a good job building around this guy. And obviously you don't do it all in year 1. You're at the bottom of the barrel of the NFL for a reason. But knowing you have that pick before free agency, you think they would have done more maybe to add some pieces. Now they did have Calvin Ridley.
Sure. He's fine.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, when was the last time he actually played consistent?
His career is always so off to me because he missed a whole season for the gambling.
Yeah.
And then I think he had a bounce back year last year.
Yeah. 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. But yeah, I expect the defense to another dominant performance.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they can continue to, if it's not a mirage that they were just going up against the worst offensive line in football.
Yeah.
It should be just another kind of a repeat of last week.
Yeah. Like I said, Broncos finished with 6 sacks against the Titans. Cam Ward had 133 total yards of passing, no touchdowns, all field goals from their offensive unit. So I expect dominance from this Rams defense. Yeah. And, it's hard to say, well, they gave up 9 points last week. They should give up less than that. I mean, it's the NFL. It's still very challenging to hold teams under 10 points, but I don't expect anything more than 14. If we're putting a number on it, nothing more than 14 points, I think. I think 10 is like the barometer for me.
Yeah, and we haven't mentioned it yet, but Rams are 5.5 point favorites, 6 in some of the books I've seen. That's like the largest you'll ever see. I mean, there's some games that will go over 7, but I mean, this is going to be one of the most lopsided games of the weekend, I think. It should be. If the Rams are who we think they are, not just a playoff contender, but a Super Bowl contender, this is a Titans team that, should not be very good, and they should dominate. So swing timer here. If we get pressure with the front 4, it's going to be a long day for the Titans. I think it's always the key in the NFL, right? If you can get pressure with 4 and don't have to bring extra blitzers, so you have, I'm not a mathematician, but that leaves you 7 guys back. That's a lot of guys to kind of muddy the field, especially against a rookie quarterback. So I think that's what's made
this Rams defense, Skinny, better than expected in the Chris Shula era is how dominant they've been able to be with just 4 pass rushers. And he hasn't had to get too exotic. At times they have, but they haven't had to get too exotic with different linebacker stunts, with different corner blitzes, safety blitzes. They've been able to say, hey, my front four, just go get after the guy. And while they haven't always landed home in the sack department, those pressures and stuff have led to good things. So great comment there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Cam Ward is a mobile guy, but not as mobile as CJ Stroud, which was one of my big worries heading into that game. They were going to allow those edges to get a little bit compromised. Just looking here really quickly, 24 dropbacks not blitzed, 10 blitzes last game for the Rams. So, a pretty low amount there, but they're running really exotic stuff. I think you were kind of touching on this, but you saw inside guys going out, outside guys coming into the middle, which really puts the offensive line into a bind. And so the 27th ranked offensive line is going to have a tough day.
Should have their handful for sure.
Yep.
Let's get another question here. Rams fan 619. Do you think the Rams offense will have another low scoring game against the Titans, but next week they will have an explosive offense against the Eagles? Do you want to take this one away?
Yeah. I think this is going to be a good warm up game. I think, the Houston Texans, it took a half.
Yeah.
To get it going. And we can talk about the Titans defense a bit. I'm getting the two teams mixed up in my brain because Houston used to be the Titans and Oilers and
Houston Oilers. Yeah.
So excuse me if I get any of the team names wrong. But it's a tough one because, okay, let's talk about the Rams offensive line. We got 3 guys missing some time in practice.
Not a deal. Not great.
Dotson, was limited today. So there's a good chance that he should play. Avila, we don't know about. Havenstein, it was an ankle. And then McVay came out and said, not really an ankle, just a veteran rest day. And it's like, why do you do that to us? Just tell us what exactly, is he injured or is he resting? There's a difference there.
Slightly. Yeah.
So, they're not in a great place. And, you got Jeffrey Simmons and, this Titans defensive line. They can get after him, and they were going up against Denver, who is in different rankings between 2 and 5 in terms of their offensive line. So it's going to be a bigger challenge for the Rams this week, just in terms of getting pressure. So if there's anything for the Titans in this game, that will be it, which may create less explosion for the team. But Denver, who's not, their weapons aren't grade A. They were really able to run the ball. So going back to our original question, this would be a great game to, get all 3 of the backs involved at a higher level, I think.
There's no way Zarkis Hunter's a healthy scratch this game, right?
If Ronnie Rivers is in there, or the other guy that they had on the squad during training camp, I can't remember who else was in the rotation there, but
at minimum, Blake Corum, you figure, has to have five touches in this game, 5 carries, right?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is the way to alleviate, especially if they do end up missing. I think Havenstein will play, but if they end up missing their 2 guards, the way to alleviate that is with a running game, obviously. And you're going to miss, your running blocking is probably not going to be as strong with your backups, obviously, but it's still better chance for success than dropping Matthew Stafford with his backpack 35 times and hoping Bo Limmer and Jared Dedich or Justin Dedich or whoever can hold against Justin Simmons and the rest of those front 4. So establishing the run, I think, will be critical. Just to quickly address the questions, another low scoring game is the Titans, but
they got to put up at least 20 in this game, I would imagine, just because they're going to have the ball a lot more.
The Broncos offense played terrible and they scored 20 points.
Yeah.
Bo Nix had 2 interceptions. He looked awful. He'll be better, but he looked terrible, and they still put up 20 points. So you would think the Rams could at least get to 20.
And a big difference between Bo Nix and Matthew Stafford. Stafford carves up blitzes. He's good under pressure. He's better under pressure. Nix looked like he took a big step back. And really, I think the Titans have one elite pass rusher. That's Jeffrey Simmons. He had 7 pressures in just one game, up near the top of the league against an elite offensive line. So you got to watch that guy. But, it mitigates it because it's just one guy instead of Fiske and Verse and Byron Young. And then you got Jalen McCullough coming off the edge, or Quentin Lake coming off the other edge, or Nate Landman, pushed up against, mugged up in a bear front, Yeah.
So. And then just doubling down, if we lose our 2 starting guards, you believe this will be a problem for Rams. I mean, it's obviously not ideal. I think this Rams team has gone through enough adversity on the offensive line to sustain. We saw last year all the injuries, and Bo Limmer had to come in and played admirably, and Justin Dedich played, and some of the others, obviously they brought over David Questenberry as a veteran who can play either guard spot. Yeah. Even DJ Humphries, who obviously is kind of the backup tackle, could probably swing inside if needed. So it's a problem in the sense that you always want your starting 5, but it's not. I don't think it'll just end the season losing those 2 guys, but it's definitely not ideal, and definitely not ideal for this week going against this defensive front.
100%.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'll drop the link in here again, guys. If anyone wants to drop a call, link is in the description. It won't be on camera. It will just be audio. It's getting warmer now.
Well, you're sitting right in the sun.
Of all days to not put sunscreen on my bald head. I'm going to get a little color, but no, it's great. It feels great to be outside. I mean, it's been 90s, high 90s. So today was 74 and cloudy most of the day. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It's really, really one of those beautiful fall days in LA.
Yeah.
Makes it all worth it.
It is a fall day. 75 is a fall day in LA.
It's just about when I start putting the beanie on.
Yeah. I almost came over here in a full flannel. I was like, ooh, it was 69 this morning when I took Mia to school. I'm like, all right, it's flannel weather. Any other thought, unless we get any other comments or questions or calls in here, any other kind of thoughts on, I guess, what you're looking for in this matchup? I think we both agree the Rams should win this game.
Well, I was trying to get to it and went down several tangents on my way trying to get there, but it took a while for the offense to get going against the Texans. And a lot of that had to do with the Texans defense, right? I just want to see a much more cohesive game. I want to see Davante Adams. He doesn't need 100 yards or 130 yards like Puka Nacua, but I just want to see, going back to what he was saying about the explosion, I just want to see more explosivity out of this offense. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford was pushing the ball down the field. It was all the Puka Nacua. I want to see Tutu Atwell get involved. I want to see Terrence Ferguson get involved. Another injury note: Colby Parkinson suffered a shoulder. He did not practice yesterday. We'll see what happens with him. But just more dynamism.
Yeah,
something like that. And just more explosive plays, because that's going to help you in December, in January, and the running game as well.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Let's quickly, while we wait a few more questions here, let's quickly talk about our friends over at Sleeper. If you've never heard of it, it's a little secret. It's more than just a platform for season-long fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but the app offers so much more. Live stats, you get real-time updates and visualizations on all stats. News feed, get lightning-fast updates on your favorite players and teams, and the real-time chat. You can engage with other users about individual plays and performances during NFL, NBA, NHL, all of it, all sports, all seasons. So download the #1 sports app today and experience it yourself. When you download the app and you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code RAMS LAFB. That's all one word, RAMS LAFB. You're going to get up to a $100 match bonus on that deposit. So you put in $25, you're going to get $25 match for free. You put in 100, you get 100 for free. And the best thing of the app, Skinny, that I'm loving is the new pick'em game that they have. You pick 2 to 8 players. It can honestly be across all sports, but if you want to stick to one game and you're kind of just picking more or less, Matthew Stafford, more or less 250 passing yards, whatever it may be. Tonight's game should be a good one. Thursday Night Football. You can go in and pick more or less on that game and win some real money. So download the app, promo code Rams LAFB. Tell them the guys at the LAFB network send you.
And you got to be smart to play this. Don't just, pick a Tyler Higbee for 25 yards just because you think the Rams offense is going to be the same as it's always been.
Yeah, that lost it for me last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost that one. I thought that was
it seems so
such a
simple.
gimme.
It's like 2 catches.
3 catches, yeah. And the way
Zero.
The way he was looking last season, at the end when he came back, it was like scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
And what I'll say, and this is not betting advice or anything, this is just my opinion. And we've talked about this with the Rams offense in general. We know Matthew Stafford loves to key in on one receiver. We saw it in week 1. Puka Nacua, 10 catches, 130 yards. Davante Adams was the next closest with 4 catches. Everyone else had 1 after that. So if you are going to sleeper to do the pick'em, I would say usually with the Rams receivers for now, until we see otherwise, stick with Puka Nacua. Just lean on that. Everyone else, you can go unders. Maybe do unders or less for Davante Adams, whatever his number is. Anyway, so any last kind of closing thoughts here? Love everyone that's joined us. We're going to keep building this out every Thursday.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We got 91 people up in here.
Yeah, Rams shouldn't overlook the Titans. Start thinking about the Eagles the following week. 100%.
I can't really get over this new nickname I've been given.
Anemic tea.
It's like weak tea. Nobody likes weak tea.
I don't. I still like you though.
Oh, I like me too.
Yeah, I like you. Anemic tea. USA Expat again. I want to see the Rams take their opening drive for a score.
That's a really great point. It won't be as much of an issue, but come this Eagles game, like
get off to a hot start.
Get off to a hot start. McVay scripts those out. These should be his best drive.
Yeah, and we haven't seen that for a little while. These opening drive, like when you think of, in his, I remember the old Mike Shanahan days was like one of the best at his script. Kyle Shanahan is really good at the opening game script. Sean Payton has always been historically really good with the opening game script. McVay has at times and hasn't at other times. He's been a guy I think that gets better kind of as the game goes on in terms of play calling. But it would be great to see just start off with a bang, especially in a team like this. You want to just dominate from the jump, wire to wire, own the game, win big.
Yeah.
Willie Bowen, LA Rams will dominate this season. Horns up. Thank you, Willie. You want to give a score prediction? So the over or the spread is 5.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got.
I'm gonna go 23 to 17.
7. Oh wow. Okay.
I think they find a little bit more rhythm after that first week. I think Cam Ward, not Cam Newton. It's getting everything mixed up.
I mean, hey, all good.
Cam, I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I think he's going to learn a lot from that game. I don't think the Rams defense is as swarming, as difficult as the Broncos. So I think they pick up a few more points.
23-7, but they cover. So 6-point win.
There you go.
So there you go. It's the Rams cover. There's part of me that wants to predict the Rams have an offensive explosion. Just say, okay, last week was an anomaly. It was a learning week. Stafford didn't practice much, trying to get on the same page. But I can't do that until I see it. Like I can't sit here conceivably and subjectively and just it sounds too fanboyish there if I say that. So I do think obviously the Rams win. I think they cover, but I think it will probably be another kind of offensive slog if you will. I think the defense will be able to contain. I do think Cam Ward is going to be a good quarterback. What makes him special in my eyes is what he's had to overcome to get where he is. You see quarterbacks in this league, especially that get taken 1 overall. And I'm a big Caleb Williams guy, obviously played at USC, but his path was so different, right? Like he was top recruited Oklahoma, basically came in as like the next coming of the great QBs under Lincoln Riley, follows Lincoln Riley to USC, wins a Heisman his second season. And then, rides off, not really in the sunset. It's kind of a rough junior year, but, then gets drafted first overall. So he hasn't had a ton of adversity to overcome. A guy like Cam Ward, started at Incarnate Ward, had like no scholarship offers. If anyone's ever heard, that's a tiny school in Texas. He ends up then at Washington State, where he puts that school kind of on the map and has some great games and some great Apple Cups against Washington, transfers his final year to Miami, where he goes on and has a fantastic season and is essentially the Heisman runner-up to Hunter, drawing a blank on his name now, from Colorado. Travis Hunter, thank you. So I do think that's a long monologue that I think Cam Ward is going to be a good quarterback, but it's week 2 of his rookie season. And so I think the Rams will still be able to dominate. And as much as I love Jay Nutt, the name, and Tony Pollard can have some now I can't say the word, dynamic plays, perhaps. Calvin Ridley, we'll see. But I think this Rams defense will still be able to shut down the Titans overall. So I'm going to go Rams win 17-9.
Ooh, another low score.
Another little defensive barn burner.
You know, interesting trend that we've seen with the quarterbacks coming out of college, just to take another tangent, is like some of these guys that have played a whole bunch of football, like Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, they're much more capable quarterbacks at the NFL, just kind of at the jump. So
it's like experience helps you, I guess.
Well,
who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Imagine that.
Yeah. So, all right. Any closing remarks? I think we'll wrap this up.
Dynamism.
There we go. Dynamism. I think that's it. Yeah. So,
hey, thanks calling in, JC.
Everyone else be brave. We want to get everyone in here. So every Thursday, 4 p.m., we'll be doing this all season long, live preview shows. We're going to start getting some guests on as well from opposing teams. And obviously would love to take your guys' calls. We'll keep putting these in the chat. So hopefully eventually you guys will want to call in and bring your thoughts, opinions. You can tear down anemic tea over here and weak tea, make them feel bad. So we'll be back again for sure. Skinny, possibly me. If not me, definitely someone else. Post game, live every week post game. So make sure to subscribe right here to the Rams LAFB YouTube channel so you get the update. But as soon as that game ends, it's a 10 a.m. kickoff. So you're looking like 1:30. We'll be live again here talking all things. Hopefully a big Rams victory. Hopefully the Rams offense does wake up and look dominant, but we'll see. So we'll be back here then. And make sure to check out LAFB Network for all of our Rams coverage. Ryan or Skinny drops a ton of Rams content over there. I do as well. So LAFBnetwork.com, LAFB Network, and all of our social channels, Rams LAFB on YouTube. But thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Skinny, pleasure as always. It was fun. Thanks for opening up this beautiful patio, even though I'm getting sunburned.
Get back inside.
It's great. So anyway, thank you everyone again. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you all afterwards, 1:30 Pacific time on Sunday live, Rams LAFB.